What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. In this video, we're going to be talking about all of the units in this upcoming 4th anniversary Sugo Fest. If you guys haven't seen my previous video, there will be a card at the top of the video. Make sure to check it out as we broke down the entire Sugo Fest structure. In this video now, we're straying away from that, and we're going to be talking about all of the units in all of their detail in this video. So I'm currently actually time skip now over to the 27th of February, where every single one of these banners is going to be active, which is so exciting. And let's go ahead and start talking about all of the new characters coming in this Sugo Fest. So let's start off with the first rare recruit, which is going to be Daifuku. So Daifuku is a quick powerhouse driven character, and at max level, at level 99, with his max limit break, 3244 HP, 1388 attack, and 266 recovery. Max cooldown of 6 turns is the most notable thing here, and we'll go through what he does in a little bit. His captain effect is going to boost powerhouse characters' attack by 2.5 and reduce damage taken by 20%. This is actually a very similar captain effect to Treasure Map Jack. I believe Treasure Map Jack is a 2.75 powerhouse captain, and he also does reduce damage by 20%, so very interesting, but you wouldn't be using this guy as a captain really all that much. His special ability, though, as we said, maxes at 6 turns, reduces all enemies' defense up, which is the blue shield, reduces enemies' auto healing, which is great, resilience, and damage reduction, which is the rainbow shield, by 2 turns, and then deals 30 times his attack in quick damage to all enemies, and changes character's slot, so his own slot, into recovery. What an amazing unit, right? Because not only does he do that a mass amount of AoE damage, but he does it after he removes the enemy's debuffs. So he reduces the defense up and the resilience and also the damage reduction by 2 turns, and then he does the damage, which is fantastic. And the great thing about this is he has this special effect, the double special launch. So when you go ahead and get it at least up to level 4, he's going to be completely maxed out, and you can use it twice in 1 turn, but obviously level 5 will be completely maxed. But if you have him at max special, then he's guaranteed to get his special off, which is freaking insane. Like, this character is so goddamn good. His secondary one is slot bind reduction by 5 turns. That's not too bad as well. He's a good unit, man. He's got good utility, and the fact that he has double special activation is like quite key. That's like the main reason why this guy is so good. He has 2 crewmate abilities. The first one reducing crew's base HP by 75, and his other one is making his own deck slots have matching slot effects. So overall, I think that this character is like one of the better rare recruits in the game, to be honest, just with the amount of utility he provides, as well as AoE damage. Like, this guy is so goddamn good. So yeah, I think he's a great unit. Next, moving on to Cracker now. So Cracker, the next rare recruit of this batch, is going to be a quick slasher striker character, and at max level, at level 99, he has 3200 flat health, 1553 attack, and 203 recovery. And we can see that he has a captain effect that will boost strength, dex, and quick by 2.75, and then boosting those characters' health by 1.25. For a regular 5-star rare recruit, that's actually like not a terrible captain effect, to be honest. His special ability maxing at 14 turns. It's a very interesting special. I remember when this first came out, like, everyone was like, what? Like, everyone was so confused when this character like first came out on JP. So Cracker's captain effect is going to state that if your captain is red, green, or blue, or strength dex quick, boosts strength dex quick character's attack and slot effects by 1.75 for 1 turn. Just flat out, that's already amazing. On top of this, changes block slots into character's own type. Again, amazing. However, if your captain is Psi or Int, boost strength dex and quick character's attack and slot effects by 1.75 for 3 turns, and then change all slots into G. So that's the main like thing about this character, and like everyone, why was he like so weird? Like, why is he built like this? It doesn't make any sense. So his first half of his special, amazing. Like, honestly, it could have stopped there and he would have been amazing. However, the fact that he also states that if your captain is Psi or Int, he then will go ahead and make it a 3-turn attack and orb boost. I don't know why, you know, you'd ever be in a situation where you could use that. The only other situation where I could see that being somewhat useful is if you had like Treasure Map Croc become your captain. But even then, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, because you wouldn't get this boost off anyway, because Croc gives him attack boost. Like, I don't understand how you're supposed to be using this guy as a sub to get this boost off effectively, because you're still not going to be boosting every character in your team. still, I think he's actually a pretty solid unit. You won't really use him too often, but, you know, if he's boosted on treasure maps, he's going to be a very, very nice unit to have for your crew. He has 2 different crewmate abilities. First one is double damage from normal attacks dealt to dex enemies. So this is actually quite good. This type of crewmate effect, a lot of characters have this. I believe Legend Katakuri has this, and like Rare Recruit Marigold also has a very similar crewmate ability to this. This is a very interesting crewmate effect, because what this means is that if this character attacks a unit, they do double combo hits. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but hypothetically, this character is a quick character, right? And it says double damage to dex enemies. Now, for some reason, with the game's algorithm and how it's programmed, whenever this character attacks a unit, he attacks for double the combo hit. So he does a 4 combo hit. So hypothetically, if you attack a dex turtle or a dex mob that has lots of defense, he'll do 8 combo hits. So that's something to note. Like, that can actually be a saving grace, or that could kind of ruin some of your runs, depending on how you use this character. Just wanted to put it out there for people that didn't know. He also has another one which makes strength, dex, and quick characters tandem slots have matching slot effects too. That's such a good crewmate effect. If you are running a strength, dex, and quick team, this guy is such a nice unit to have for those teams. Now moving on to the next rare recruit of the batch. Now, to my knowledge, I believe this is, to this date, the most used rare recruit out of this entire batch, aside from the legend, of course. So here we have Perospero. Now, Perospero is pretty freaking sick. Perospero is a Dex Striker Cerebral character, and at max level, at level 99, he has 2,160 health, 1555 attack, and 411 recovery, and his captain effect will boost attack by 3.5 times for characters with a cost of 50 or more, and boost the HP and recovery by 1.2. So the thing about it is, his captain effect does not even boost himself, but this would mean that if you are ever going to use this guy as a captain for whatever reason, then you would have to go ahead and run like a full team of legends or treasure map characters, and then a friend treasure map character or a legend. So it's really weird. You shouldn't be using him as a captain. But his special effect, maxing at 9 turns, locks crew slots for 1 turn, reduces one enemy's health by 10%, reduces your crew's special charge time for 1 turn, and greatly boosts the type effects of normal attacks for strength, dex, quick for 1 turn. What that means is color affinity. He is a 1.75 color affinity for strength, dex, and quick characters. So this character does so many different things. He does locking orbs, health cut, cooldown reduction, and a color affinity. This unit's amazing, but it doesn't end there, because he also has the double special launch, meaning that at max, you'll be able to use this special multiple times in a row. I don't really know why you'd want to, I mean, you get 2 turns of cooldown reduction, which is pretty cool. The 2 10% health cuts is whatever, that's 19% cumulative. But the color affinity is only for 1 turn, so you can use it on like one boss, and then wait, go into another room, and then use it again. So you can have this guy run multiple different times in a run, which is fantastic. He also has recovery bind reduction, which is always useful to have. In terms of crewmate effects, he has reduces special reverse by 2 turns, which is fantastic. So if you're ever reversed in your specials, it makes a lot of sense now, because if he's reduced by 2 turns, you can use his special ability twice to rewind your entire crew forward. So that makes a lot of sense. So Perospero is a very, very nice unit to have. And his secondary one will boost crew's base attack and health by 50 when captain is strength, dex, or quick. So I think that this unit's pretty good, and he's going to see a lot of play in future content coming up. Very big fan of this character overall. And the last rare recruit, well, actually, we've got this character here, and then we've got the VV and the Ace to discuss. So here we have Smoothie. Now Smoothie, oh my god, Smoothie is thick. But anyways, Smoothie, she's a strength slash a free spirit character, and at max level, at level 99, 3,043 health, 1558 attack, and 250 recovery. So I think for stats, pretty good. Captain effect is going to boost by 3.5 when characters attack in good, great, and then perfect order without breaking the chain. We all know how that goes. And also heals crew by 500 health at the end of the turn. I mean, for a 5-star rare recruit, it's not a terrible captain effect, but just don't run this character as a captain. But her special ability is very interesting though. She will go ahead and heal your crew by 5,000 flat. So even though it might be interesting to give her recovery candies, you do not want to give her recovery, because she does not heal based off her recovery. She heals flat 5k health. Also removes all poison, reduces crew's paralysis, burn, Bind and Despair by 2 turns, changes adjacent slots into matching, and allows you to freely swap your orbs 3 times. Now, one of the big things that stands out here is Burn, and a lot of people might say, what the hell is Burn? So Burn is a new mechanic that is going to be arriving in Treasure Cruise, where enemies will inflict this onto your team. And what happens is, every time you hit a perfect, you will take damage at the end of that turn. So in the next upcoming Colosseum, after Colosseum Kuma leaves, the next one to arrive is Colosseum Daifuku. Now, in that dungeon, there is a mini-boss which is Oven. So Oven applies this burn damage to your crew, and I believe on that specific dungeon, every time you hit a perfect, when you have that status ailment on your crew, you take 2,000 damage at the end of that turn. So because you have your 6 characters, if you hit 6 perfects, you take 12,000 damage. So it's quite significant, and having a character to reduce the burn is always really, really useful. But on top of that, she heals, reduces poison, paralysis, burn, bind, and despair. Like, she's so useful with utility. Also, giving you 3 matching orbs guaranteed, because you're going to be running her as a sub, and then you can allow your orbs to be switched 3 times. That doesn't matter too much, but everything else is just fantastic. And of course, she also has double special activation. So yeah, this character is immediately super duper useful. And her crewmate effect boosts the top row character's base attack by 50, not really too good, and makes all characters' type slots have matching slot effects when captain is a strength type. Interesting. Okay, so all type orbs will be beneficial for herself if your captain is strength. So that could see some play. I guess if you're running like a Neptune team against Turtles, she'll actually be a good sub for that, because you can basically nearly get a matching orb every single turn with her, which is actually really cool. But outside of that, there aren't really too many uses like for her as a sub, but like that utility is so good. And it's like, especially once you get this maxed out, her utility is just through the roof, because that's 4 turn reduction of paralysis, burn, bind, despair, and also a 10k heal, because with double special activation you get that times 2. So you get a 10k heal when you eventually get this maxed out. So maxing out this is gonna be so good when you eventually do that. But outside of that, she's gonna be like sort of not really that useful, because only reducing 2 turns of this might not be super duper useful. So we've just discussed all of the Big Mom Rare Recruit characters, but now let's go ahead and discuss the new VV and also the new Ace character. So if we swipe over to part 2 here, when we go to the recommended characters, we can see that there is the brand new Log Ace arriving on Global. This character originally arrived on JP like so long ago, like 2015, 2016, and they've finally arrived here on Global here. They've actually changed the artwork slightly here. You can see that Ace actually has like the Doflamingo jacket, which looks absolutely amazing. Let's talk about this Ace character. So Ace is a strength, free spirit powerhouse character, and at max level at level 99, having 2,681 health, 1482 attack, and 258 recovery, maxing out at 14 turns with his special. Captain effect is going to boost free spirit powerhouse character's attack by 1.75. Not free spirit powerhouse, but free spirit and powerhouse separately by 1.75, and boost their health by 1.5, and also boost berries earned by 2.5 times. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So if you're lacking a reasonably good captain for berries, this is actually pretty solid. One of the other characters the character that I used to farm with berries is the Summer Vivi. She's so good. I think it's like 2.5 attack or 2 times attack, and also like 2.5 berries. She's so good. But this character is a pretty good replacement for that. I mean, obviously, having Viola being a 3 times berry captain is also really nice, but I do actually really dig this character. We haven't even discussed his special ability yet. So his special max is at 14, and he sets your crew's HP to 1. Now, we'll discuss why that's so good in a minute, but removes all poison, which is great, reduces bind and special bind and paralysis by 4 turns. Holy shit, this character is so good already. Heals crew by 7,000 at the end of the turn for 1 turn. Okay, it would have been nice if it was like for 2 turns or just a flat 7k heal. But that's actually kind of interesting though, because he heals by at the end of the turn, meaning that if there's like a boss that has a healing interrupt, you can still use this because you don't get the heal to the end of the turn, which is actually really good. And he also changes empty, bomb, and block into matching, and if your captain is a free spirit or powerhouse, reduce all enemies damage threshold by 5 turns. Dude, this character is so good. Yo, this character is amazing. This character, man, this character is so good. He does so much. Oh my god, sets crew's HP to 1, which is great for the new Whitebeard, which we'll be discussing later. Removes all poison, which is always useful to have. Reduces bind and special. Yo, does he have the sailor ability? Yes. Oh, yes. He reduces bind by special bind. Oh, by 3 turns. Dude, I love this ace. This ace is amazing. This ace is so good. Special bind and paralysis by 4 turns. And in the healing, all manipulation. And also reducing 5 turns of damage threshold. Yo, this ace is so amazing, yo. Alright, so that's the ace for you guys. He's so good. Guaranteed on the second multi of part 2. Now, the last rare recruit before we get into the legends is going to be the new Vivi. The Vivi also was a character that arrived on JP a long time ago, but is now arrived on Global, and they have revamped her, and she's also very, very good. So, here we have Vivi. So, Vivi is a Dex Slasher Striker character. At max level, at level 99, she has 2,119 health, 1321 attack, 388 recovery, Captain Effect. Boost Slasher and Striker characters attack by 1.75, 1.5 recovery, and boost Pirate EXP earned by 1.5 times. So good! This character is amazing, and the reason why she's so good is because she's an EXP captain that is a striker or a shooter, and the reason why that's good is because you can use characters like V2 Coliseum Kid, the Dex Coliseum Kid. It's so good, man, because the fact that you can use that on an EXP team allows you to speed farm a lot easier with those teams. Especially you can use someone like the new treasure map NL on those teams as well, who gets cooldown reduction, and then Coliseum Kid reduces cooldown even more. Like, the amount of synergy that striker teams have for speed farming now is just amazing. So I'm a massive fan of this Vivi. I'm definitely going to be going ahead and getting this Vivi and the ace for sure. Now, her special max is at 14, cuts the crew's HP by 90%, but reduces one enemy's HP by 10%, ignoring all defensive effects, which is big thumbs up, very, very good. Changes top and bottom row characters' type slots into character zone. Would have been nice if it was just all orbs on the top and bottom row to matching instead of just type orbs, but I guess depending on the situation. Wait, what class is she again? Slasher Striker. Yeah, if she was like a cerebral or a powerhouse, like that would have been a little bit better, but that's still okay. Greatly boost crew slot effects for 2 turns, so that's likely a 1.75 orb boost. Wow. And if the captain is Slasher or Striker, completely remove all enemies' end of turn damage. Yeah, she's pretty good. I like Ace's special a bit more, but she's very good either way. And also boost top row characters' base attack by 60. Okay, her sailor ability is nowhere near as good as Ace's, but man, I like Vivi's captain effect better, but I like Ace's special ability a whole lot more. I think both of these characters are definitely worth picking up on part 2 and part 3, but obviously it does depend on your situation. I don't know. I really like these characters. I think they're freaking amazing. So now let's go ahead and take this time to discuss the new Sugo Fest exclusive characters that are going to be arriving. The first character we're going to be discussing is going to be Brook. Now, Brook is a character that not a lot of people were really excited about, but we're going to be talking about this guy. So here we have Sulking Brook, Soul's special live performance. He is a Dex Slasher Free Spirit character, and at max level at level 99 with his limit break, 3440 health, 1630 attack, and 539 recovery. So in terms of a legend character, his attack I feel is definitely quite a disappointment. His health and recovery is still pretty solid though. His captain effect is going to state, recover from game over 1 time per quest. You heard that correctly. If you die as him as a captain, you revive to full health and you remove all, positive or negative buffs that were on your crew. That's game changing, yo. Game changing. Boost crew's attack by 2.75 times when you have full HP, 2 times otherwise, and we'll get to that, and also reduces all enemies' HP by 10% at the end of the turn. So, a very unique captain effect, and a lot of people rate this character. I personally don't care too much about Legend Brook. I don't care that much. He recovers from game over 1 time, big thumbs up. Boost crew's attack by 2.75 when HP is full, and then 2 times otherwise. I wish that was changed. I wish it was just flat 3x or flat 2.75. I would have been actually a pretty huge fan if it was that. 2 times, like, most of the time you're not going to be getting 2.75 attack. Like, 2 times health is really not that much. But I like the HP cut at the end of the turn, because if you're running double Brook, which is typically what I see a lot of the time, sometimes you run like Shirahoshi Brook or some other zombie-ish type of teams, you can get some pretty significant HP cut. Like, this Brook is actually like pretty solid for some high-end difficulty bosses, because you can just literally sit there over and over and over again, and just let your health cut continuously cut down the enemy, especially like enemies that have like over 10 million health. You can cut down their health relatively quickly, especially if you're using other characters on top of it, like characters like Magellan or any other health cut cutters that can help you do that. So, you know, Brook as a captain, he's very slow. You're not going to be doing speed farming with Brook, but he's very, very interesting. I mean, can we just say the art as well? The art looks absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. Probably one of my favorite artworks in the entire game. It's just quite unfortunate that his captain effect really doesn't really hold up to what we were expecting him to be. But let's discuss his special. So his special ability max at 13 with limit break. I don't know what it maxes out naturally at, but 13 turns. Heals crew by 14,343 HP. Also reduces damage taken by 90% for a turn. Makes crew's type slots have matching slot effects for 2 turns. And if the HP of the enemy with the highest max health is 434,300 or above, reduce all enemies' HP by 20% and delays them by 1 turn. Otherwise, if the enemy on the enemy side of the field, with the most HP, has less than this, defeats all enemies otherwise. So he's very reminiscent of like Colosseum Shiryu. He has a very similar effect. It's like based off his attack. If they have less than that, they just get instantly defeated. But this guy's kind of nice because he has the effect that, you know, even if they're above that, they still get a 20% health cut, which is like amazing, as well as a delay. He heals, damage reduction, beneficial orb enable for 2 turns, which means you can actually use it on a turn prior to the boss stage, so you can get around enemy preemptive attacks. His special ability is amazing. I love his special. It's so good. It's just such a shame that his captain effect really isn't great. You can still use him as a sub, definitely, on a lot of different teams, but man, that captain effect is such a disappointment. That's just me personally. I know a lot of people love Legend Brook. I'm just not in that camp of like really liking this character, but that special, whew, it's a good special. In terms of his crewmate effects, lets character completely evade paralysis, which is always nice, and his secondary one will make the crew's recovery and tandem orbs have matching slot effects. That is such a useful crewmate effect. Thank you very much, Brook, for that. He also has slotbind self-reduction, 99 turns. I don't know why he just completely gets rid of it, but 99 turns is pretty much the same thing. And 2 defensive ones. That's the other thing I don't really understand. I mean, I kind of understand it. Like, he has defensive effects because it means that, you know, he takes less damage, which means he can stall a lot better. But I think it would have been better if he had pinch healing. I think pinch healing would have helped him out so much. And maybe recovery bind as well. Pinch healing and recovery bind would have been definitely my choice, and then maybe a damage reduction effect on top of that. But Brook is a pretty interesting character. Not my favorite legend, but that special is so goddamn good. And now we're going to be discussing the new Legend Global First character arriving on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, which is going to be V3 Whitebeard. Yes, it's V3 Whitebeard. It is not V2 Whitebeard. If you say it's V2 Whitebeard, you're completely wrong. It is V3 Whitebeard coming in like an absolute monster. Look at that artwork, dude. I love the artwork that they did for V3 Whitebeard. Voiceless Rage. Actually, funny name because I don't think he has a voice on Global right now. I think he's going to receive his voice at a later date. Voiceless Rage makes a lot of sense. Anyways, this character, man, he is just so good, man. He's so good. Definitely worth getting on the 9th multi guaranteed. So this character is a quick powerhouse striker character at max level at level 99, 4904 HP. Obviously, this is max limit break as well. 1740 attack and 241 recovery. I am a little bit disappointed in the attack because it means with candies, he is not able to go over 2000. However, that does change with his limit break abilities. We'll go through that in a minute. So, Legend Whitebeard V3's captain effect reduces special charge time by 1 turn at the start of the quest, boosts powerhouse and striker character's attack the lower your HP is. So this means that if you are at full health, max HP at the start of the run, 2.5 times attack to striker and powerhouse, and if you get to 1 HP, you have 4.5 times attack to striker and powerhouse. Like, whew, that's some juicy damage right there, as well as also reducing damage taken by 20%. Like, 4.5 attack and 20% damage reduction, and reducing cooldowns at the start of the fight. That's a great captain effect. A lot of people might be disappointed with the fact that you have to be at 1 health to get 4.5. But you gotta think, it's a scaling, it's a scale thing, you know, like Legend Crocodile, right? So you can be at half health. At half health, you're going by this calculation, it should be 3.5 times attack. Now, if you start off the run with the Whitebeard ship, 3.5 times attack is pretty great. And, you know, obviously there are going to be lots of special abilities. Obviously, the new Vivi and the new Ace character in the Sugo Fest, do help because they do reduce your HP. So you can use those characters because both of those specials synergize very, very well with this Whitebeard character and enable you to basically get him to really low health or at 1 HP, have 4.5 times attack, and you have the Ace to give you the healing at the end of the turn. So even though you're at 1 HP, you go up to 7,001 at the end of that turn. Like, there is great synergize from the new units, which I'm really, really happy about. I'm a huge fan of this captain effect. I definitely cannot wait to actually use him in pieces of content. Powerhouse and Striker captain is quite interesting too. I think that a Rainbow Captain would have been really good as well, but I do think that's quite fair, being Powerhouse and Striker. There's lots of good units you could run on a Powerhouse and Striker related team, so I'm a big fan. But let's discuss his special ability. Now, if you thought the Captain ability was freaking bonkers, you're about to see some bonkers shit with his special ability. Maxing out at 13 turns, dealing 400,000 damage to one enemy that ignores defensive effects, so that's already great. Also, boosting the chain multiplier by 0.7 for one turn. Great. Also, doubles Powerhouse and Striker characters' attack by, obviously 2 times attack for one turn. And if HP is low, I'm assuming it's around 30%. Reduces damage taken by 95% for one turn, and reduces despair by 20 turns. I don't know why there's the despair effect. Maybe there's going to be some content coming out where you have to reduce a shit ton of despair. I guess Legend Corazon would help with that too. But 20 turn despair reduction, interesting. The damage reduction is good too, because if you're ever in a situation where you put yourself down at low health, and as a safety precaution, you can use his special to make sure that even if you can't kill that turn, or if you're about to take damage, you can tank a hit. 95% damage reduction is no joke. That is very, very significant. But the amount of damage that you get with this character alone is insane. It's immense. 400k fixed is no joke. That goes through defensive effects. The 2 times attack and 0.7 chain is amazing because if you guys know V2 Shanks, right? V2 Shanks is a 2.25 attack and the 0.9 chain, and we already know how much damage Shanks adds to your team. So having a special like this, I'm excited. I cannot wait to use this character. In terms of his crewmate effects, his first one is going to go ahead and state he cannot be blown away. So as a sub, he's going to be so useful. And his secondary one, boosting crew's base attack by 70. So that's okay, but like not really too exciting to really discuss. His first of these abilities, critical hit, is a 50% chance for 7%. That's actually quite low for a critical hit. I would have expected it to be like Katakuri or Giff or Luffy, where it's a 90% chance for 10% extra damage. 50% chance isn't really that high. His secondary one is Slotbind for 10 turns. That's about the standard, so that's pretty good. But he's Enraged, yo. He's Enraged. 300 additional attack with his Enrage. So he goes to 1940 with candies. So he goes to 2240 attack power with his Enrage active, and that doesn't even include crewmate effects that boost attack on top of that. He could potentially have to get up to like 2300 attack. I'm excited to use this guy. He looks so much fun. I'm a big fan of this guy. Remember, he's going to be guaranteed on the Sugo Fest on the 9th multi of Part 1. Now, the last character we're going to be discussing in this video, and the reason why we're saving her for last, is because for some unknown reason, she has a 6+ coming out. Like, what? Yes, you heard that correctly. Big Mom is getting a 6+ on this Sugo Fest. It's weird though, because when I click information, it doesn't have a 6+ information here. So we don't know exactly, but on the side of this video, I don't know if I'll have it up, but I can read it myself here, and I can tell you guys about her 6+ and how it differs from her original 6-star form. So this is the character that we'll all tease to be coming out for the anniversary. So here we have Legend Big Mom. She is a strength powerhouse driven character. Her max stats, level 99 with her limit break, 4530 health, fantastic, 1880 attack, fantastic, and 30 recovery. Obviously, you gotta take a drawback somewhere. So a captain effect is going to boost strength, dex, and quick character's attack by 3.5 times, as well as giving you a 1.2 times HP boost, as well as making similar slots have matching slot effects. Okay, so that's her base captain effect, right? It's 3.5 to strength, dex, quick, as well as 1.2 times health, and then makes similar slots have a matching slot effect. Now, it continues to discuss what happens here. Her special captain ability, Hunger Pangs, changes crew's recovery slots to Semla slots. So every time you get a recovery orb, it will transform into Semla. And Semla is very, very important for Big Mom. And the reason why that is because if you do not consume a Semla orb in 3 turns, she becomes the rampaged version of Big Mom. And she has a really random new ability when she is enraged. Like, she gives herself a 10 times attack boost, and you can't attack with her. She attacks herself randomly to a random enemy through barriers and stuff. She gets insane, basically. So if you do not consume a Semla orb in 3 turns, captain ability will change to Rampage. And it says, for more details, check the menu during a quest. So I can't really check that right now, but I remember that if you do not consume a Semla orb, she basically is like I think she gets like a 4 times boost for your crew, for your strength X quick units, and then her herself is a 10 times attack boosting unit. It's really interesting the way the Big Mom works, but just let you guys know, Big Mom is essentially like a Lucy captain. Very similar to Lucy, but the thing is that the difference between this character and Lucy as a captain, obviously because of the Semla stuff and the rampaging, but aside that, she does not require one of each of the colors to be on your crew. With Lucy, you do need each of the colors on your crew, otherwise you do not get your boost. So this means you can run a full strength team if you want. You can run double Big Mom and a bunch of Dex units. You can run double Big Mom and a bunch of quick units. You can run whatever you want with Big Mom, which is kind of nice to have the freedom, but you do have to manage her properly, otherwise you're going to be getting the rampage mode, and with rampage mode, depending on how you're going and depending on the content, you're not going to be able to beat it, because rampage mode, it just makes Big Mom a little bit more unpredictable, and she's a lot more difficult to use when she's in rampage mode. So Big Mom as a captain, I personally am not a big fan of her. I would still prefer to use Lucy, but let's discuss her special ability. Now, 9 turn maxing for her special is really good, and what it does, it will go ahead and deal 250 times her attack in typeless damage to one enemy, give herself a strength orb, and if the character is your captain or your friend captain, she will go ahead and give the top row characters a 2 times attack and 2 times orb boost for 3 turns. But if she's not the captain when you use the special, she gives herself a 2 times attack and 2 times orb boost to herself for 1 turn. So she's very similar to Cavendish. If you guys know Legend Cavendish, where it's basically a self buff, and Big Mom does essentially that, but she also does a crap ton of damage. 250 times her attack in typeless on a 9 turn cooldown is pretty powerful, and as well as giving yourself a matching orb, always very, very useful. Now, her crewmate effect, first one is going to be 350 additional attack if she's the last to attack, and her other one is going to make her own Dex and Quick Orbs count as beneficial. She has Dex damage reduction up to 5%, and Enrage up to 300, which is even stronger than what Whitebeard is. And then we have a Critical Strike, 90% chance for 10%. Yeah, see, this Big Mom has better effects than what the Whitebeard does, honestly. Like, these effects should be just copied and pasted over to Whitebeard. Like, this makes a lot more sense to have this on Whitebeard, but it is what it is. Now, in terms of her ability changing into a 6+ character, that is quite interesting, because as it stands right now, we don't know what her Rampage captain effect really is in game. So I'm almost certain that her Rampage effect is going to be even more busted in her 6+ form, because her 6+, even though the artwork looks absolutely amazing, it doesn't change that much. So in terms of the 6+ captain effect, she will go ahead and do the exact same thing, except instead of a 1.2 times HP boost, she's a 1.3 times HP boost. And for her special ability, from what we can see right now, instead of a 250 times damage, it's 300 times. And it looks like she gives herself a strength orb including block, so she can get rid of block orbs, which is very, very good. And it looks like that might be about it. She also locks the crew slots. So she locks the top row character's slots when you use her special ability. That's actually really useful, because that happens a lot. When you use her special as a captain, even though she'll go ahead and give herself a pretty big boost, and it's really good for her Rampage effect, after that 1 turn, she'll have to get RNG orbs, basically. So the fact that she locks the orb is very, very useful. I do like that a lot, actually. But we'll have to wait and see when she actually gets fully released to see how her Rampage captain effect is different from her original 6-star form. But I gotta say, her 6-star plus artwork is absolutely amazing. So that's gonna do it, guys. I'm sorry this was an extremely long video, but this is exactly the reason why I wanted to split these videos up. There were so many characters we had to discuss in this video. We had the Big Mom badge, we had Vivi, we had Ace, we had Whitebeard, Brook, Big Mom. That's it. It's all done. The information is out for you guys, so hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Let me know down in the comment section which character you're the most hyped for in this Sugo Fest, and man, what part of the Sugo Fest are you going to be going in on? Because I know I'm definitely going for that Whitebeard. He looks so much fun. But anyways, that is going to conclude the video, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it, and if you guys did, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.